Hey, what's up, and welcome to my corner of the internet. So, before we get into the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. That would definitely be much appreciated because I definitely got goals and it's time to achieve them, you know? Regardless of that, this anime I'm talking about this week is an anime that gets their season 3. You know, this anime disappeared a while back. It went on in hiatus. It went through several magazine changes. And this is a story as old as time with some of the animes I've watched throughout my entire childhood, throughout anime that I've watched my entire life. You know, like animes go through changes. They go through their difficulties. Or the author just needs a goddamn break, you know? So, with this, I'm obviously talking about Blue Exorcist.
ゆきあ
ん兄さんしえみさんもどうしたの僕は今仕事中で
ゆきお私たち
So for this season, if there was any anime I was rooting for, it would have to be Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist, when it came out, was cool. It had the laws of cool. Like, first and foremost, it had a ragey main character who had a power that was unleashed, who was not controllable, and teenage me ate that up with all my angst. And I'm sure some of you also did. Along with that, Blue Exorcist had a very dark fantasy story, and as someone who loved D. Gray Man and some of the other dark fantasies, this was right up my alley, and everything seemed dire, everything seemed interesting, and it was another play on the classic Exorcist versus darkness, Satan, all these different things. I think Blue Exorcist during its time was a bit of a hit, and you couldn't tell me it wasn't a good anime.
目に助けられたんだ俺は何のために助けられたんだ
Along with some snappy animation and this almost scored way that everything felt epic, it felt almost like holy, which is obvious because like exorcism and all that other stuff, but it felt cool. The art style was unbelievably interesting the way that it looked to me, and I enjoyed Blue Exorcist for what it was. I loved our main character Rin, even though he was sorely stupid and seems to never necessarily learn, and I do find his voice annoying. His voice is kind of annoying, like it's not even like, ugh, God, it was annoying. And then there's Yukio, the brother, who is a crybaby but isn't a crybaby. I don't know. It was a weird dynamic. Also, this is written by Kazui Kato, and this anime is back, man. Like, if you didn't know, it came back with its season 3, and we are dealing with the Kamiki story, which is a heart-wrenching story with a lot of different plot points and a lot of differences. I read the manga and I'm pretty much up to date-ish. Like, I'm not towards like the final arc where we're dealing with everything. I just like paced it because like Blue Exorcist has disappeared ever so often as it is publicized by Jump Square at the moment, which, correct me if I'm wrong, that is a bi-monthly magazine. So with all of that being said, I think it's time to enter in the conversation of a lot of my favorite works, and some of the works of my childhood are not necessarily getting a finish. And with Blue Exorcist being anime right now, I'm excited to get finishes to my story, and I'm genuinely sad that my favorite stories aren't able to finally be ended. These are animes with such grandiose ideas, with stories that had this way of being illustrated, and how much it inspired me to even create my own art and work on my own things. It feels as though they are not able to get into their end game, and that makes me incredibly sad. I am rooting for Blue Exorcist, and as someone who's a couple episodes in, I'm enjoying the ride, though I gotta ask, I don't know if anyone else noticed, their heads are way bigger than their bodies, at least slightly. I don't know if it's just me, but their heads have this way of being bigger than their body. It's just a tiny thing that's kind of annoying to me about the art style. It doesn't look the same. It's a little bit more, I guess, rounded, if you understand what that means. Like versus like the other one, it felt, I don't know. It felt more compact, I guess. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but regardless, the new episodes of Blue Exorcist are par for the course. There's no differences. They're not like wowing you amazingly. The story has the same feel and same energy. Like, it looks the same, but a little bit different. Like, there's subtle changes to how our character designs, and also it feels a little bit lighter. It doesn't feel as dark, if that's what I'm trying to express to you. It doesn't feel as dark as it did before. This story is definitely going in a dark place, though. Like, if you know this, like, saga, this part of it, this arc, you're like, oh, this is definitely gonna get, like, sad. With all of that, the story is something I'm rooting for. Blue Exorcist deserves a good ending. I think all great stories deserve a good ending. And maybe some of you are enjoying the ride that we get from some of our favorite stories, but unfortunately, I think I enjoy endings. I enjoy the pieces of stories that are able to land the ship. And I feel like there's a tons of different animes that may not get that, and that's incredibly sad for me.
兄さん俺が止める行けそんな見せかけの炎やと島一つ忠告しといてあげるわ
So I would like for you to celebrate that Blue Exorcist is back. It's getting another chance, getting another run of form. I want you to try this out, go from the beginning, get to where we are, read the manga. I want you to support these animes that I'm making videos about, because with the recent news, and I'm definitely making a video about that in the near future, it's time to talk about how our favorite artists need that support. They need that recognition, and they also need to feel as though their art is doing something. And Blue Exorcist did something for me. I wrote so many different stories about exorcists. I thought about demons inside. It took a part of the wheel, and I like how it showcased it to me. And I loved the story, and I'm excited that it's season 3 is back, and I'm watching it faithfully and happily. And I'm enjoying the ride so far. And I can't wait till they show certain visuals to certain pieces of this arc that was definitely changing and puts us towards the ending pieces of the story. With all that being said, I appreciate you. Take care, be well, and do your best out there. Peace.